Let's discuss about the MOT. MOT is nothing but the molecular orbital theory. So let's take this definition first here. So the atomic orbitals combine to form a new set of orbitals we are going to call as the molecular orbital. So these are the first two scientists. They are going to introduce about this one theory. So name F. Hund and R.S. Millikan. So these are the peoples who introduced about this molecular orbital theory. So with the flow chart we study here. So first we take the atoms. So you know this one atoms. They are going to be formed in the word combining, right? They are going to form in the form of they are going to combining. After the combining atoms and atoms they are going to combining. They are going to be formed as the molecule, right? So atoms they are going to be combined to become a molecule, and the electrons present in the molecule we are going to call as molecular orbital. So this is about the molecular orbital. First we should take the atoms. Atoms they are going to combine to form the molecules, and what are the electrons which are present in the orbitals of that molecule we are going to call as the molecular orbital. Suppose if I take the hydrogen, right? So hydrogen atom, it is containing only one electron, right? So this is an atom. So now one more atom which is going to take place here. There is one more hydrogen. So these two hydrogen atoms they are going to be combining. Combining means they are going to form a molecule like this should be there. We should write like this molecules, right? So I mean they are going to sharing their pair of electrons, right? They are going to call molecule. And what are the electrons present in these orbitals of the hydrogen we are going to call as the molecular orbital. So the definition tells that the atomic orbitals combine. So here because orbitals means 1s1, right? The atomic orbitals combine. These are the orbitals, atomic orbitals. You know the types of the atomic orbitals, right? S orbital means spherical shape. P means dumbbell shape. D means double dumbbell shape. So these are called atomic orbitals. When these atomic orbitals they are going to be combined, we are going to call as the molecular orbital. So here according to definition, atomic orbitals, these atomic orbitals combine to form a new set of orbital. They form a new set of orbital that we are going to write as 1s2, right? This is a new set of orbitals that known as the molecular orbital, because 1s1, so that becomes a helium, right? That is called stable gas. So that's why the hydrogen it requires always one electron. So that's why it becomes stable. So this is about the molecular orbital. Let's discuss about the postulates of the MOT. So one by one let's discuss here. Very important this one. The atomic orbitals of comparable energies and proper symmetry combine to form a molecular orbitals. Suppose if I take the atomic orbitals like this, 1s orbital plus 1s orbital, yes, they are going to form a bond here. And here if I take 1s orbital and 2s orbital, they are not going to be formed here. Why? Because the atomic orbitals of comparable energies, here the 1s can combine with only 1s orbital. Right? So what about this indicates the 1s orbital which is not going to be combined with the 2s orbitals because of the energies. They are telling that the atomic orbitals of the comparable energies, right? Comparable energies and proper symmetry combine to form molecular orbitals. So means 1s and 1s, so they are having the same energies. What about this 1s and 2s? 2s is having the higher energies. So that's why the lower energy and higher energy they are not going to make a molecule. The only lower energies and lower energies of the two atomic orbitals they are going to combine to form a molecular orbital. So this is about the first point discussion. Second one, the electrons in a molecule are present in a various molecular orbitals. The electrons in a molecule are present in various molecular orbitals as the electrons of the atoms are present in various atomic orbitals. Suppose before going to form molecular orbitals, usually the electrons first they are present in the atomic orbitals. When they are going to be combining, what happens? Molecules are going to be formed. So later, what happens? The electrons should be also present in the molecular orbitals. So this is the second point of this one. So before going to make a molecule, the initially electrons will present in the atomic orbitals. After this bond formation or molecular orbitals, the electrons usually present in the molecules. Third point. The electron in an atomic orbital which is going to be influenced by one nucleus. Suppose if I take the hydrogen atom, so this is called nucleus and this is one electron will be there because 1s1, hydrogen is 1s1. So what happens? So the electron in an atomic orbital is influenced by only one nucleus, but in one molecule. Suppose if I take the hydrogen molecules means like this, they are going to be combining here. So this is two nucleus. So the electron in atomic orbital is influenced by only one nucleus, but in one molecule means two hydrogen. In one molecules orbitals, it is going to be influenced by the two or more nuclei, right? So before going to form their combining, only one nucleus will be there. After the combining, two or more nuclei which is going to be formed here. So because two in one s1, that is hydrogen, only one electron will be there. After combining two hydrogen, two electrons which are going to be utilization for the bond formation. I mean, this electron is also influenced by this nucleus, and this electron is also influenced by this electrons and this electrons, because these electrons are related to two nucleus. So the two or more nuclei, the atomic orbitals are monocentric usually. Why? Because atomic orbital, this is called monocentric. What about the molecules? Molecular orbitals are polycentric here, like this. Two nucleus will be there. So these are the 3 points. Let's discuss about the next postulates. The number of molecular orbitals which are formed, that is equal to the number of atomic orbitals combined. You know this one. The two atomic orbitals, they are going to combine to become a molecular orbitals. So the half of the molecular orbitals we are going to call as BMO. BMO means bonding molecular orbital, and other half of the molecular orbitals we are going to call as ABMO, means anti-bonding molecular orbital. If I take the hydrogen molecule for an example for this one. So you know this one, hydrogen molecules, this is a molecule. How this molecule is combined here? By the atoms, right? Hydrogen and hydrogen, two hydrogen atoms. Let's take the orbital here. So because 1s1 will be there. So only one electron which is present in the s orbital, and I am going to take here one more orbital here, that is also contained in the 1s1 orbital. Now I am going to take an orbitals arrangement here. So now I am going to join these orbitals here. So where two places will be there here, and this is 4. So this position we are going to call as the BMO, or it is denoted as sigma. BMO means bonding molecular orbitals, and this is called ABMO, means anti-bonding molecular orbitals, that is represented as sigma star, right? So here what happens? The combining of the atomic orbitals, 1s1, that becomes the 1s2. How the electrons are going to place here? So this one electron and this one electron, that becomes the 1s2 now here. So this is about the half of the molecular orbitals we are going to call as bonding molecular orbitals, and the other half of the molecular orbitals we are going to call as anti-bonding molecular orbitals. The energy of the BMO is always less than ABMO. This energy, this bonding formation takes place in the BMO. This energy will be always lower than this one. And the electrons in BMO, what are the electrons should be there in present in the bottom, that is called BMO, that favors the bond formation. That's why they are going to form the bond formation here, like this, bond formation. These electrons are utilized for the bond formation, and the electrons which are present in ABMO, usually what are the electrons should be present here in the ABMO, do not favor the bond formation. That's why here we are not going to fill any electrons here. And one more tells that the lower energy should always have the more stability. Which one is the lower energy? BMO will be having the lower energies. This will be having the higher energies. That's why this will be the stability will be there. So because of this stability, the bond formation takes place. And last one, the filling of the molecular orbitals of the different energy will follow the Hund's rule, Pauli's exclusion principle, and Aufbau principle. You are already familiar with these principles. So Hund's rule tells that pairing should not take place unless and until each orbital should occupy a single electron. So like this should be there. This is an s orbital and this is an p orbital, right? Suppose if I take electrons here in p orbitals, first if 5 electrons will be available with us, means p orbitals having 5 electrons. First we should write 1 electron, this electron, this electron. Remaining we should take pairing takes place. So according to the Hund's rule, the no pairing should take place unless and until the electrons should occupy minimum single orbital. First we should fill the electrons in each orbitals. Later if any remaining electrons should be there, then we are going to place like this here. And above principle tells that always filling the electrons in the respective orbitals should always in the form of increasing order of their energies. The energy should be there. This is called energy. Energy means if I take the 1s electron, 2s electron and 1s, 2s, 2p means first I should fill the electron from the lower energy to higher energy. If I take 1s, 2s, 2 then 2p6. First we should fill in the lower energy, then later higher energies. And Pauli's exclusive principle, it tells that the no two electrons in an atomic orbital can have all the four set of the quantum numbers. So let's discuss about it. When we are going to solve the problems, these principles we are going to apply here. Let's discuss about the formation of the molecular orbital. So how they are going to be formed here? So by the linear combination of the atomic orbital, that we are going to designate as the LCAO, linear combination of the atomic orbitals. So for consider hydrogen molecule as an example. So let's take a hydrogen molecule here. So how they are going to form? They are going to be formed by the atomic orbitals of the two hydrogen atoms. They are going to be formed, combining, they become the hydrogen molecule. So let's take a first ground state of an electrons of a separate that is hydrogen, that is A. I am going to take one hydrogen as A and another hydrogen as the B. So each containing the 1s1 electrons in their ground state here. So after the combining, what happens? They are going to make a bond here. So that is called BMO. BMO is always favors the bond formation. So this Xi A and Xi B are called as the wave functions of the respective atoms of the hydrogen. That is A means one hydrogen atom, B means another hydrogen atom. Their wave functions will be there. So here this Xi means the formation of the Xi A plus Xi B and Xi star is Xi A minus Xi B. I mean, so that molecular formation that should be taken by or described by the linear combination of the atomic orbitals mathematically. How? By the subtraction or addition of the wave functions of the individual atoms that we are going to explain by this method. Suppose if the addition takes place, addition is they are going to be forming the bond, that is called sigma. If their subtraction will be there, that is called sigma star. Anti-bonding molecular orbitals will be there. So this is the linear combination of the atomic orbitals. When we should express in mathematical form, that is nothing but the molecular orbitals, which is going to be explained by the linear combination of the atomic orbitals by subtraction or addition of the individual wave functions of their atomic orbitals. And let's take a difference between the BMO and ABMO by looking all this one. So here, this in the ground state of an electrons, they are going to be making a molecule here. Therefore, constructive overlapping will take place, and this is called destructive overlapping. So that the first difference, constructive overlapping will take place. This constructive overlapping means they always form a bond formation. There is not going to be formed bond formation. That's why they are called destructive overlapping. And you know this one, the energy should be always very high in the anti-bonding orbitals and lower energy in the bonding molecular orbitals. So for this lower energy, there will be always having the stability will be there. So less energy in BMO, whereas higher energy in the ABMO. And what happens? The electron density parameter. So in the atomic orbitals, in the ground state, these atoms when they combine here, their electrons also will be there, and their density is also parameter takes place. So due to this constructive and lower energy, so the electron density will be very high in this one. So due to this electron density, they are going to make utilization for the combining of the two hydrogen atoms. But what about this one? There should be having the very minimum. Always that's why because of this reason also bond formation should be favors for this BMO as well as the ABMO. So this is the favors for chemical bonding, that does not favors for the chemical bond. So this is about the molecular orbitals formation. Let's discuss about the types of the molecular orbitals. So usually two types will be there. One is called sigma molecular orbital. Sigma molecular orbital should be there. Sigma means always the axial overlapping will take place. You know this one? It is always axial overlapping should be takes place here. So axial means you know this one. Suppose if I take the 1s1 atomic orbital of the hydrogen atom, and also I am taking one more hydrogen atom of that ground state having the 1s1 electron. So what happens? They are going to form the sigma bond because this is called axial overlapping will takes place here. So I mean the symmetry is also same. Symmetry is also same, and their energy is also having same. That's why 1s1 atomic orbital should always combine with only 1s atomic orbital to become a bond formation. But this 1s is not going to be combined with the 2s orbital, so that is not takes place the bond formation. So this is about the simplest one. If I take the internuclear axis, suppose if I take the if it is the direction will be the x y z direction. If I take the suppose 2p z axis I am going to take. If any electron present will be there in the pz orbital, this must combine with the 2pz orbital of that same atomic orbitals of the atom that should be containing. Then only they are going to forming a bond formation should be takes place. That is 2pz 2 should takes place. Suppose if I take the 2py orbital, if I take the 2py orbitals and 2px orbitals, if I take place, so these always having the formation of the sidewise overlapping. They should be having the sidewise overlapping will takes place. So this sidewise overlap, that is second one called pi molecular orbital. It is called sidewise overlap. Sidewise overlap should takes place. So that sidewise overlap. So if it is in the bonding molecular orbital, if I take the hydrogen, right? So this should be the bonding molecular orbital. This should be the anti-bonding molecular orbital. This is called BMO and this is called ABMO. So usually hydrogen atom will always form in the BMO, right? So this we are going to name it as sigma 1s2 and this is called sigma star 1s2. Because of these bonds we are going to call as a sigma bond. What about this in case of the pi bonds? What happens usually? Two orbitals, separate orbitals we are going to take here. So this is called 2px and this is called 2py. This is containing in the ABMO. What about in the BMO? BMO will be having the same. This one 2px and 2py orbital. So usually these orbitals will have overlapping takes place by the sidewise. So that is called we have designated as pi 2px. If the electron containing in the x direction, that is 2 pi 2px. If it is in the antibonding, we are going to call as pi star 2px. If it is in the pi 2py, will be there in the bonding molecular orbital. In the antibonding, that should be denoted as pi star 2py. Should write it here. So this is called the only 2px and 2py orbitals in the molecular bond formation. They always take the sidewise overlapping. What about the 2pz and these 1s1 orbital and 2s orbitals? Always they are going to form the axial overlap, and axial overlap should take place should containing the having the equal energies. So this is also having the same energy and same symmetry. So because if it is a spherical symmetry, this is spherical symmetry, then spherical symmetries they combine to become a molecule. Symmetry should be same, energy should also be comparable. Then only the molecular bond should be takes place. So you should keep it in your mind that this sigma which is going to form by the 1s or 2pz should be takes place. But always in the pi bond formation, this 2px and 2py should always sidewise overlap takes place. So those orbitals we are going to call as the pi molecular orbitals, that is sidewise overlap, and these orbitals we are going to call as the sigma molecular orbital, that is axial overlapping takes place.